What's up, everyone? This is the Next Tape Podcast, episode 96 with Mikel
And Mika.
where we have conversations on different topics. So today we're going to have a great episode of the Next Tape Podcast, and Tanika will provide us on what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, we are going to be talking about the television shows of the 90s and talking just the different, categories of that, cartoons and,
hmm hmm
you know, sitcoms and the whole bit. So
Yeah,
we're gonna have fun with this episode.
yeah, definitely.
Definitely have fun with the notes with this episode.
hmm
Um, okay. So ready to start?
All right. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So we're gonna be kind of starting with, the more popular shows, see what we can remember from what I say. Um, and then we'll kind of move into ones that we might not remember as much. Mainly talking cartoons in the beginning. So, um, so many who grew up in the 90s remember waking up on a Saturday morning, grabbing that bowl of cereal, and getting comfy on the couch to watch cartoons. Absolutely. It was the same tradition as kids in the 80s had done, but by the 90s, cartoons weren't just restricted to Saturday mornings. Even coming home after school, cartoons were part of life for kids who grew up in the era. Absolutely.
hmm
Not only were they great for younger audiences, but they had enough jokes to keep older viewers, also entertained. Um, so the best 90s cartoons will never die, but not if today's fans and creators have anything to say about it. Only time will tell, but 90s classics will continue well into the 21st century, which, I mean, there are definitely some that have, like SpongeBob SquarePants is one that comes to mind. That started
Right.
in the 90s. So that's one that comes to mind. Pokemon, I don't even know if Pokemon's still going, but definitely
Yeah,
went.
Pokemon's still going to
Is
this day.
it?
There's a lot of different versions of
Oh no, I
the
know there's plenty of
show.
different
Yep.
versions, but I still remember I didn't know if it was still going or not.
Mhm.
Um, so that's another one. Um, or which will receive revivals and get the modern treatment that they deserve. If you've been bitten by the nostalgia bug, these cartoons from the 90s are great to comb over and pick up all the things that went over your head. So we have 25 of the more popular ones or more memorable ones. So let's see what we remember. Captain Planet and the Plantiers, which ran from 1990 to 1996. Do you know the show?
Is that the guy that's in green?
As in what?
He's in green. He's in a green, kind of like superhero suit.
Kinda. That's kind of what it looked. I recognize the picture
Mhm.
that they have on they have on the website, but I'm not sure.
mm
Yeah, because you were a little older than I was at that
mm
point. Um, so I only have like a vague memory of this one,
Right.
but here's the explanation for those who may not know or don't remember. The spirit of the earth, Gaia, puts together a group of teenagers known as the Plantiers, who are given the power of the five elements to help protect the planet from pollution and those who take advantage of its natural resources. When the Plantiers unite their powers, they have the ability to summon an elemental being known as Captain Planet to help them in their fight. Captain Planet and the Plantiers is a blend of traditional superhero series combined with an educational theme that makes it one of the most unique cartoons of the 90s. Despite mixed reviews over the series' subject matter, Captain Planet was still a revolutionary cartoon at the time and captivated viewers with its characters and their elemental superpowers that varied from other popular superhero shows. While the series was surrounded in some controversy, young viewers still enjoy the show's passion and originality, cementing it as one of the most innovative cartoons of its time. So, yeah, I mean, talking about like pollution, I mean, we're kind of talking about pollution, in the
I
90s.
think that's who I'm talking about. It
Maybe.
was, yeah, yeah. Does it have a picture? Oh no.
Yeah, hold on. I'll send it to you.
Yes,
Okay.
I remember the show. Yeah, Captain Planet. No, no. Oh yeah, the group. Okay, I see. I was
Hmm.
talking about something else, but I think I remember the show. Yeah.
Okay. So let's move on to the next one, 24. This one I think many of us will remember. Rocco's Modern Life ran from 93 to 96.
Yeah.
So Rocco's Modern Life is another bizarre but clever 90s cartoon that follows a wallaby, Rocco, who moves from his home in Australia to the United States. But when he arrives, he realizes things aren't exactly what he had imagined. Between his annoying neighbors and a series of never-ending life issues, Rocco tries to navigate his way through his new life, and with the help of his friends and canine buddy Spunky, he manages to overcome any obstacle thrown his way. Rocco's Modern Life wasn't an initial hit, but other shows at the time, such as The Ren and Stimpy Show, it gained a major cult following and became one of the most popular animated series of the 90s. The series
Mm.
was hit with some concern over its light adult humor and social commentary, but all in all, Rocco's Modern Life puts a comedic spin on the difficulties that come with growing up and finding your place in the world, and also emphasizes the importance of friendship and family, deeming it to be a top-notch cartoon of the 90s. Next one, number 23. Gargoyles from 94 to 97. Do you remember this one?
Yes, I remember that show.
Yeah.
I- every single Saturday, I
I
watched that. Yeah.
I honestly forgot this show existed until I saw it. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, gargoyles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so after spending thousands of years in a cursed, petrified state, a series of gargoyle statues are transported from Scotland to New York City, where they each come alive at night. At night, the nocturnal creatures awake from a slumber and serve as guardians and protectors of the city. But at sunrise, they turn back into stone, concealing their power and ancient magic from the outside world. Disney's Gargoyles was a unique 90s cartoon series that was known for its dark tones, complex storylines, and well-developed characters, which were brought to life by an array of voice talents including Keith David, Ed Asner, and Tim Curry. The
Mm.
series, you know what? You know who Tim Curry is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank God. Okay. The series ran for three successful seasons, and while it may have been a short-lived show, Dark Girls has an extremely loyal following of fans and remains to be a beloved 90s cartoon.
Mm.
Next one, The Angry Beavers, right from
Yeah.
97. I honestly, I kind of remember the show, but
Yeah. I remember the show.
so ran
Yep.
from 1997 to 2001. So brothers, is it Daggett? Did I say that right? Daggett?
Mhm.
And Norbert decide to venture from their hometown in Oregon and gain their own sense of independence, living in a nearby forest. After building an impressive bachelor pad, the brothers soon find themselves in a series of wacky and comical situations that keep their lives entertaining. The Angry Beavers is a highly underrated animated series from the 90s that ran for a successful 5 seasons on Nickelodeon. The series never loses its touch of unpredictability and always delivers some zany or out of this world scenario for the brothers who are complete opposites and constantly at childish odds over something. The character's in-depth development and creator Mitch, I think it's Shar's dedication to keeping fans on their toes is what makes The Angry Beavers a top-notch animated series of the 90s. Here's the next one, which I think, again, we all know this one. Ed, Eddie, and Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah. This
19.
was on. Yeah. This was on like I believe Teletoon. I
So
believe.
that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, is it, I don't know if that's American too, but yeah, Teletoon, at least in Canada. I'm not sure if that's
Yeah. Yeah. It's in Canada. The Teletoon's in Canada.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so they ran from 1999 to 2008. In a seemingly average suburban neighborhood, three friends, Ed, played by Matt Hill, so that's Ed E.D.,
Yeah.
Ed, Samuel Kuth, and
Yeah.
Eddie, Tony Sampson, try to survive their adolescent years and rely on one another to make it through each day. The boys find themselves in endless shenanigans with a local group of colorful neighborhood kids, or being chased by the Canker sisters, or on a quest for their favorite treat, Jawbreakers. Ed, and Eddie is a ridiculously humorous animated series that had an impressive run for 6 seasons and featured an array of characters that stood out with their own signature qualities. Between a boy, Johnny, whose best friend is a piece of wood known as Plank, to Ed, who really loves buttered toast, Ed, and Eddie gave young audiences the effective encouragement to be themselves and embrace their own sense of weirdness and uniqueness. So here's another one, not as much of a childish cartoon show, but maybe more adult cartoon show. King of the Hill ran from 97 to 2010,
Yeah.
which I never watched King of the Hill. I wasn't probably allowed to watch King of the Hill,
Oh
but
no. So I watched some episodes of King of the
mhm,
Hill. I know it came right after it was on Fox.
yeah.
Almost like most like every Sunday. It came like from The Simpsons, and then
Mm.
like late night it would be
Which is
like
why I was never allowed to watch King of the Hill.
yeah, yeah.
I wasn't
It
allowed to
was
watch Simpsons either.
mm, I see.
Um, but I always heard the rumor the reason the show ended was because the guy who does the voice of the main character died. But I don't even know if that's true. But I remember hearing that like years and years ago. Anyway, so King of the Hill is set in Texas and follows the life and trials of a propane salesman and family man, Hank Hill, Mike Judge, who lives with his loving wife, Peggy, which is played by Kathy Najimy, which I never knew she was in the show at all.
Mm,
Um, who you may not know who that is, but that's okay. His son, Bobby, and niece, Luann, which is played by Brittany Murphy, everybody. May she rest in power. When he's not working or spending time with his family, Hank can be found hanging out with his neighbors and buddies outside his house. King of the Hill is an iconic series and one of the most popular sitcoms of the 90s that has also become a staple in pop culture. The show is known for brilliantly pulling humor from average relatable scenarios, such as working a blue-collar job, growing up, and basically navigating through life. With an impressive recurring cast, King of the Hill also gained notoriety for its various guest stars, which included big names such as Alan Rickman, may he also rest in power, Johnny Depp, and Michael Keaton. It's pretty cool.
mm,
So here's another cartoon, which again kind of goes in line with King of the Hill in terms of more adult cartoon.
mhm.
And I think it's the only one on this list that we're going to talk about that's still ongoing. And that's Futurama.
Yeah,
Started
yeah,
in 1999.
yeah. It's yeah. It started in '99, and it came to not relaunch it, but re like remade it for like three more seasons,
Oh,
and basically, I think it's still on. I don't believe I haven't been paying attention to
I
it.
know I haven't seen
Yeah, but
Futurama in a long time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, uh, yeah, I wasn't. It wasn't my like go
It's,
to.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
I would
like
watch it if it played on Teletoon or whatever, like
yeah,
Teletoon at
yeah,
night.
yeah,
But that was kind of it. I
yeah.
haven't watched Teletoon. I don't even know if Teletoon's still even around anymore. But I haven't
I
watched
think it's
Teletoon.
still.
Is
I think
that
it still is. I just said
multiple?
because we haven't watched it because we're just like I still like watching cartoons here and there now. I went from cartoons to anime because cartoons and Western cartoons is not as good as it used to be,
Mhm.
you know. But
Yeah.
I still watch anime here and there. So yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, like Teletoon at night, I mean, it's something I have not watched since I was like young teens. So I really don't even know if this is still going. But here we go. So when a pizza delivery guy, Philip J. Fry, is accidentally cryogenically frozen, he wakes up 1,000 years in the future and is taken in by an elderly scientist, Professor Hubert J. Farnsworth, which is so. The main character is played by Billy West. The scientist is also played by Billy West,
Mhm,
his only living descendant. There he helps Farnsworth with his small cargo delivery service and befriends the rest of the crew members.
mhm,
So, um, hold on, make sure. Okay. So Futurama is among the few 90s cartoons that are still currently on air, but the series is reportedly set to premiere its final season in 2026.
mhm.
The series is a humorous look into the future, but still relays relevant scenarios everyone goes through, such as having a crush on a coworker, making ends meet, and basically just surviving in a heavily populated universe. Throughout its impressive run, Futurama has earned immense praise and has received dozens of award nominations, winning 6 of its 17 Emmy Award nominations.
Interesting. Mm,
Futurama has managed to stay alive through several cancellations and conjured up some of the most clever episodes and characters to ever grace small screen, making it an essential 90s cartoon series. So that's that one.
yeah.
Number 18 is Real Monsters, which I really remember this one. I don't
Real
remember the
Monsters.
title.
I heard the title.
Okay, I'm gonna send you the picture because I wonder if you'll recognize the characters because I didn't know this what the show was called, but I recognize the characters. Um, so I'll send that right now. So this one
Oh
ran
yeah,
from,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember the show. Yeah, I seen
yeah.
the show.
This one ran from 94 to 97.
Mhm,
So I'm not gonna scream again. Real Monsters is a set in a world where creepy cartoon monsters lurk underneath cities and attend a school to learn how to terrify humans.
mhm,
Ickis, Oblina, and Crumb, 3 young monsters that attend the
mhm,
school, are the show's main characters. With its slapstick humor, smart quips, and brilliant puns, the show is unusual, to say the least, and those who love it will find that its comedy will have them in stitches. It's a series that both strange and delightful, full of surprises and fantastic creatures, with its twisted and grotesque characters that perfectly represent the realm of monsters. The show's animation is visually striking and innovative. It may not be for everyone, but Real Monsters is a must-see for audiences who love strange cartoons. Next one, and this is one that I definitely watched all the time. The Powerpuff Girls, which ran from 1998 to 2005.
yeah, I watched this too.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know. I'm not afraid
Look,
to say no, I didn't do it.
sugar.
I did watch a bit of Sailor Moon too, so
I
yeah.
love Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
That was my favorite show,
Yeah.
besides Rugrats. Um, but yeah, sugar, spice, and everything nice.
Yeah.
These were the ingredients to make the perfect little girls.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there was that chemical X. Anyway, the city of Townsville wouldn't have been safe if it wasn't for the Powerpuff Girls.
Mhm,
It's an understatement to describe just how much of a phenomenon these kick butt superheroes were in the 90s. Among the most beloved of the cartoons of the 90s, the Powerpuff Girls turned Cartoon Network into a household name and kicked off its first golden age or original programming. Not to mention, they were a promotional powerhouse. The
mhm.
Powerpuff Girls were merchandise into everything from backpacks to stickers. Though a subsequent reboot of the series was met with harsh criticism, the original Powerpuff Girls will forever stand out as one of the best cartoons in the 90s. Yeah. Next one.
Yeah. Yeah, they well wait a second.
Oh, go
They
ahead.
tried to make a live action version of
I
this
heard that.
show. Yeah,
I heard that.
I
Which
saw
is,
the trailer of it.
which isn't, which
Yeah.
isn't, I don't, I
You
don't know
can't
how you do that.
yeah, you
I don't,
can't I don't think you can make unless you make them little roles of the
but,
but
but not
they
even just
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Cute little girls.
Yeah.
They're like, well, they're just, they're supposed to
So,
be like these powerful
yeah.
superhero girls, but they're so
Yeah.
adorable at
Yeah.
the same time.
Yeah. And I think I don't know it was this the CW network. They made them into like
Oh, CW.
and adult girls and just did- I don't understand why you didn't get younger, you know, because it just basically captures the pictures of who they are
Right.
as girls. They're not adult women. So like,
No, they're not.
yeah, yeah.
And I mean,
So
like, listen, I love CW. They've
yeah,
given great shows like The Vampire Diaries, Buffy,
mm,
you know, I'm all about CW, but maybe they could have left this one alone,
I
personally.
100%. Yeah,
Um, all right, next one. And
yeah,
this is one,
yeah.
again, I watched. Michaela, see if you did too.
Hmm.
Doug.
Yeah, one of my favorite shows of all
Loved
time.
the show.
Yeah,
Ran from 1991 to 1999. So, um, Doug would go on to define Nickelodeon's. Sorry.
Doug, Skeeter, and Patty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Doug would go on to define Nickelodeon's early 90s golden era in animation. In some ways, Doug was a 90s version of Charlie Brown with the
Yes.
title character, which was also Billy West and Tom McHugh, portraying characters of the Charles Schulz comic series, a comic classic, though he did end up with the girl of his dreams, Patty Mayonnaise, as you
Yeah.
just mentioned.
Yeah.
Doug was a slice of life cartoon that was related to kids who watched the show, dealing with being the new kid in a new town and new
Hmm.
school, and dealing with such topics as bullying and self-esteem. These are delivered through lighthearted narratives that show these lessons in ways that kids can absorb and adults can appreciate.
Mm.
So, 15, which is one that we kind of talked about briefly when we talked about another show,
Mhm.
the Ren and Stimpy Show, which ran from 1991 to
I
1996.
had mixed reactions with the show.
Do you?
Yeah, I didn't like it too much because it
Mm,
was just basically an adult version
mhm.
of a you know, what do you say, Bugs Bunny and TV show. Just like
Okay.
more, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like you mean not Teletoon, Looney Tunes. Um,
that too.
well that's what Bugs Bunny and Duty Show
Yeah,
is, it's Looney Tunes.
it just reminded me of like Tom and Jerry as
Tom
well.
and
So
Jerry.
Tom and Jerry. So
Um, I mean, I don't have a lot of memories of Ren and Stimpy.
mhm.
I know I probably watched it in passing, but I don't have a lot of memories of watching the show, so I'll take your word for it. But yeah. So to this day, it is still a mystery how the cult cartoon, The Ren and Stimpy Show, got the green light from Nickelodeon execs. Well, Nickelodeon was not always on the up and up. We could talk about that another day.
Mhm.
That's because the cartoon could easily be an early precursor to the more adult-oriented cartoons that would come toward the end of the 90s. It may be one of the old 90s cartoons, but the Ren and Stimpy show was revolutionary for sneaking in adult humor and mashing it up in a package aimed at preteens. And that's the problem, the humor of the show was surreal and at times pretty dark, but that humor gleaned off many iconic moments from one of the television's most notorious quote unquote kid cartoons.
Mhm.
Now, 14, which is one I just mentioned a few minutes ago and was one of my favorite shows, and I had all of the stuff.
Mhm.
And that's Rugrats,
Yeah,
which ran from 1991 to
yeah.
2004.
One of the greatest shows of all time. I watched all the episodes. I watched, including the teenage years of All Grown. Is it All
I
Grown Up?
did watch a little bit
Uh,
of that too.
And then the movies. I think they did like two or three movies. Was
Um,
it more? I, I see
two.
two. Okay,
Yeah, they
I
did the one
think
that got
that's one
lost
in
in the forest, and then they did the one
Paris.
that they went to
Paris.
Paris.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great movies, great
yeah.
show altogether.
It was a great show. It's an amazing show.
I didn't like the 3D remake that they did
I saw that
back
they did a
like
3D remake,
a
and I'm
few
like,
like this
ooh,
is a couple of years ago. Yeah, it was a
yeah,
couple of
yeah.
years ago. I was
I
like,
don't know about that. I know.
yeah.
I love Rugrats. Like, my family definitely would buy me different things. The movie would come out, I get the movie. Like, I have the movies, both of them somewhere in my house.
Hmm. Hmm.
I absolutely loved Rugrats as a kid, and I still
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Um, so by the early 90s, Nickelodeon was looking to make cartoons that would resonate with its audience. The cartoon that would change everything for the network was Rugrats. So while the premise was simple, it was a cartoon that kids could get into as well, with many relating to the problems the babies get themselves into and the ups and downs of growing up.
Yeah.
Rugrats was the flagship cartoon of Nicktoons until a certain sponge took over. Though SpongeBob SquarePants was supplanted, has supplanted Rugrats as the network's premiere cartoon, this series still shows how relevant it is with the reboot on Paramount Plus, which we just talked about.
Right.
So actually, no, there is another show now that I'm going to talk about that's still ongoing. And I don't think this one, once I say it, is going to be surprising. Beavis and Butthead, which started in 1993 and
Yeah.
is still on.
That show was kind of entertaining. You know, it was kind of
I
entertaining
never watched it.
there.
I never cared for Beavis and Butthead, to be told. Sorry. Never was interested in it. Yeah, no, I'm so good. So good.
That's
They're high. They're high all the time, which is, that's part of the joke. But no, I'm so okay. I'm so okay. Beavis and Butthead is a cult classic animated series that chronicles the exploits of the two tiller, socially inept, heavy metal loving teenagers.
hmm
With its crude and irreverent humor, as well as its quirky and goofy animation, the show is a masterpiece of absurdity. Viewers can expect the series to have a uniquely sarcastic perspective on pop culture, as well as a bizarre yet entertaining dynamic between the two main characters. It is not only a comedy, but also a critique of the typical adolescent experience in 90s culture.
Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead is a show that will take audiences back to the 90s and right into the heart of slacker culture.
Yeah. I still see those two characters making cameos here and there.
Well, because the show is still
On
ongoing.
yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah,
MTV. So like, yeah,
yeah.
it's a cool show. I would say it's a cool show.
hmm
You know, it's a cool show. I wouldn't watch it all day.
Uh,
Yeah,
my
so
brain's gonna fry.
that's
Um, Next one, which is one that we've actually talked about, but I think before on the podcast, we've talked about the show before,
uh,
and that is Hey Arnold. I love
great
Hey Arnold.
greatest show of
I
all time.
love the show.
Full of diverse
Nothing tops the show for me.
characters. I don't know.
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
good.
there's another show that comes close to that
Which
though. I
one?
Recess. It comes close.
Okay.
Comes close.
Um, Maybe I might get hate for this. I never really was a Recess girl.
Recess?
No,
Oh.
I never was. I wasn't. I'm not saying I didn't watch it from time
Yeah,
to
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah,
I saw the movies and
yeah,
whatever, but
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
I'm more of a Hey Arnold girl
yeah.
for sure.
I'm not hating on that because Piano is a great show. Like, you know, it has a lot of messages in the show.
Mhm.
That you a lot of messages in the episodes that a lot of people can understand in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Uh, uh and also in school as well. So,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I
It's
do
a
have
great
one
show.
question. How does this kid have a football head? No one knows. No one will ever know.
That's the only unrelatable uh
I
thing that
mean, everyone else is pretty
was
normal, but then he
yeah,
has a football head.
yeah. But
Incredible.
I think it had that like that the Arnold Clown had that like, you know, that Charlie Brown effect in a way
Yeah, I
because like
understand that.
you know, he had a character that was basically Elga? Was it Elga? Uh
Helga.
Helga, yeah.
Yeah.
And Charlie Brown had what's her name? What's
Oh, I
what's
know who
the
you mean.
character name? Lucy. There we go.
Lucy,
Yeah,
yeah.
Lucy. So they br it I feel like the creator must have been inspired by Charlie Brown in some
Possibly.
type of way, a football head, you know,
But
like
Charlie Brown didn't have a football head.
no, but Lucy called him something. I can't remember.
No,
It was
because they would play football.
yeah.
So every time that she would play football with him, she would always move the football away and then he would fall.
Lucy. Yeah.
So that's maybe that could be it. They're like, instead of
Yeah.
a football, we'll just put the football on his neck. So
Let me
I don't
see.
know. Um,
I'm trying to see what the nickname Lucy called Charlie Brown. Is it football head? The
No,
football
Helga called Arnold football head.
blockhead. That's what it was. Okay,
Okay.
never mind. Okay, it was blockhead. Yeah, yeah. It
Um,
was football. Go ahead.
so Hey Arnold chronicles the experiences of the Taylor boy, who lives in a city in a boarding home with his grandparents. Arnold is an inquisitive and adventurous young boy who's always chasing after new experiences and forming new friendships. Arnold navigates life in the city with each new episode, from contending with bullies and traversing the social hierarchy of school to solving local mysteries and exploring new locations. Arnold's best friend Gerald, his love interest Helga, or maybe technically he was her love interest, but hey, and his classmates
Yeah,
are among the noteworthy characters in Hey Arnold.
yeah.
Of course, Arnold's relationship with his grandparents is a huge part of the show, since they provide him with a feeling of family and stability. Because I believe his parents passed away, right? Or were they traveling? I can't remember the details of that.
No, no, they
They were
passed away.
passed away. Okay.
He lived with his grandparents, I
Right.
believe. Yeah.
With Hey Arnold's enduring characters and engaging storylines, the series is both uplifting and nostalgic. Anyone who appreciates a good coming of age narrative should give this old 90s cartoon a shot.
Favorite character, Gerald, by the way. Gerald,
Okay.
the top, the
Yeah,
one
he was
that
there.
wear no, number 33, always.
Yeah.
Yeah. You,
So number 11, which is
yeah.
another one I watched, and I kid you not, I must sing this theme song in my head
Mm-hmm.
constantly, and that's Pinky and the Brain. I
Great
loved
show.
Pinky and the Brain.
Great, yeah, great show.
Ran from 1995 to 1998. So one has to feel for Brain, as he could never fulfill his dream of taking over the world. That was the main premise behind Pinky and the Brain.
Narf.
A
Oh.
cartoon series running on the WP in the mid 90s.
Hmm.
Beginning its life as a skit on Animaniacs, Warner Brothers execs saw enough potential in the skit for it to be a series in its own right, and they were right. Along with Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain were essentially
Yeah.
must-see cartoons once
Hmm.
kids got home from school, enjoying watching his idiot partner in crime, Pinky, routinely ruin Brain's plans for world domination.
What are you doing, brain? I'm trying to take over the world.
Ugh. And
Uh,
with that, number
great show.
10,
Yeah.
we're at Animaniacs,
Yeah,
which
that's
ran from 1993 to 1998.
yeah.
So one can imagine that sometime in the early 90s, a Warner Brothers studio exec thought of a cartoon that revolved around cartoons living in their iconic water tower. The show that would come to fruition was Animaniacs, which revolved around the Warner siblings Yakko, Wacko, and
Mhm.
Dot.
Yeah.
While Tiny Toons Adventures was more geared toward kids, the creators behind Animaniacs set out to make a cartoon in which the humor of the animated series was geared more toward older viewers. The wacky adult-centric humor is what won over fans, and the series ran for 99 episodes in the mid-90s. It would later become one of the lucky 90s cartoons to get a revival in 2020. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a great show, I would
Yeah,
say.
I enjoyed that one too. Next one, number 9, which is one I also loved, and I can see his sister dancing to his lab right now. And that is Dexter's Laboratory, which ran from 1996 to 2003.
Good show.
It was such a good show.
It's a good show.
By the mid 90s, Cartoon Network was making a name for itself with its in-house produced cartoons, with one standing out from the rest, and that's Dexter's Laboratory.
Hmm.
The show centered around Dexter, who, sorry, yeah, has a kid genius with a secret laboratory that only his older sister, the somewhat dim-witted Dee Dee,
Hmm.
knew about. The ease of which Dee Dee could access his secret laboratory and foil his plans raised some questions to the intellect of Dexter, which made the cartoon all the more enjoyable to watch.
Mm.
Next one, number 8, Recess, ran from 1997 to 2001.
A long time, by the way. Ooh. Next to Hey Arnold and yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
So TJ, Spinelli, Vince, Gretchen, Mickey, and Gus are a group of friends that face the ups and downs of an elementary school in the classic animated 90s show Recess. Fans may also remember its cast of hilarious and recurring memorable characters, such
Hmm.
as the Ashleys, which is a gang of popular girls, and the kindergartners, the school's youngest kids. The premise of the show is simple. As during the titular period, the characters all delve into the drama, hardships, and excitement that come with their childhoods. Recess is a fun series that will remind viewers of the wonders of childhood. Next one, and this is another one that is still ongoing today. At number 7, SpongeBob SquarePants, started in 1999. So Nickelodeon didn't know what was coming when SpongeBob SquarePants premiered on the network right after the Kids' Choice Awards
Not
in
a fan of the show.
1999. Hmm?
Hate the show.
Honest,
Dumbest show.
honestly, I hated the show too. I
Yeah.
hated the show too, but I loved the theme song. I would always basically watch to listen to the theme song and
Yeah.
then I would switch the channel.
Yeah.
That's it. I hated the show.
Yeah.
Um, so what would follow after the series pilot would be the longest running series in Nickelodeon's history. While many may argue that, like The Simpsons and Family Guy, SpongeBob SquarePants has long outlived its shelf life. The series remains just as popular today as it did back in 1999, and
Hmm.
with good reason. While maintaining its appeal towards kids, the series also dips its toes into humor that can make older favorites laugh as well. Good for you. Ah, number
Yeah, the
6.
thing,
Okay.
like his cast is pretty good. I like the cast.
I do,
It's that
yeah.
character is
SpongeBob.
so annoying.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, I think that's the idea of
yeah.
SpongeBob. It's supposed to be that way. Like when when you grow up and you realize that you're Squidward, then you know things have changed. You are grumpy Squidward who just wants to be left alone in his house, not to be bugged by his neighbor. That's all you want in life.
Mhm.
I think I am Squidward. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's about all I
yeah.
can give you.
Everybody's a little Squidward.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah, yeah.
No
Like
one
I
has
said,
one drop in them though.
uh, Patrick. I don't know who else. I don't
Oh,
know
he's an
who else
idiot.
to Patrick. Yeah, it's just the Patrick and SpongeBob, and I don't know. It's just those two are just the ones that just makes the show really really dumb. The rest of the cast is just really good. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah. I can hear SpongeBob slap in my head right now,
Yeah,
and I need to move on. So,
yeah.
number 6, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Do you know this one?
Pretty good show. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So, it ran from 1999 to 2002. So, at the tail end of the 90s, the Cartoon Network was hitting its stride with its originally produced cartoons with Courage the Cowardly Dog becoming one of its most iconic. The series follows one of the best animated pets of all time, Courage, a sweet but easily frightened dog who was abandoned as a puppy and was taken by the Bags, which consists of the kind-hearted Muriel and her cruel husband, Eustace. Um, Even though they lived in the middle of nowhere, strange things would happen around the home, which would cause Courage to find the quote unquote courage to protect his family. While funny in a lot of ways, Courage the Cowardly Dog would be famous for its horror and sci fi elements and is a remarkably fresh cartoon that has aged quite well. Next one, number 5, X-Men, the animated series, which ran from 1992 to 1997.
Great, great superhero cartoon show.
I'll
Yeah,
I'll follow your lead on that one.
X-Men 97 as well. It's still kind of going on, but it's just a little, it's a remade of the original. So it's
Mm,
just more better animated than the original. So yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
So X-Men the Animated Series first debuted in 1992 and continued for several seasons. The series revolves around the X-Men, a group of
Hmm.
mutants with superhuman abilities who strive for peace and equality. With its legendary and beloved characters, the show offered an action-packed and thrilling take on the X-Men comics that audiences at the time loved. Even back then, the show set itself apart as a real animation masterpiece with its exhilarating storytelling and unique characters. Meg, is it Magneto? Magneto? Oh, sorry.
Magneto, yeah,
Okay.
Magneto.
Apocalypse and Jubilee were among the recurring villains and allies introduced to a wider audience through the series. It includes multiple episodes that dive deeper into the backstories and talents of various X-Men characters like Wolverine, Storm, and Cyclops. X-Men the Animated Series is a must-see for comic book lovers and anyone who enjoys a good superhero
Yeah,
adventure. Next
it's
one.
yeah,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah. It's based on like if you based on race as well. So like it's if if you like X-Men, you like the diverse characters into
Mm,
um this show.
yeah.
Yeah.
Number four, Daria, which ran from
Mhm.
1997 to 2002.
Seeing this one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, yeah, for
it's
sure.
all right. It was all
I
right.
liked Daria. I watched
Yeah.
Daria. Um, Fans are probably still singing Daria's iconic theme song, which I will admit I do not remember,
I don't remember
in
either.
their heads every now and then, owing to how unforgettable the show and, of course, its lead character is. Centered around Daria, I'm not even going to try to say the last name, a sardonic high school student, the series
Mhm.
depicts her efforts at fading into the background in Lawndale High School. She doesn't care about the trends or popularity and would rather steer clear of the cool kids if she can. The
Yeah.
show's 5 seasons cover the cynical Daria's experiences in what was then,
Amazing.
and in some instances still is, an accurate satire of what it's like to be in an American high school. The greatest episodes of Daria are full of pop culture references and witty
Yeah.
allusions that may just
Five.
fly over modern fans' heads. The
Mhm.
90s animated series is a nostalgic blast from the past for any fan who decides to revisit it today.
5 seasons.
Yeah,
I thought it was reruns. Interesting.
no, no,
Interesting.
Daria is a very was very popular.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. It was on. I remember it was on MTV as well. It was that show was on
I
MTV
watch it on Teletoon.
and Teletoon as well. It was on two. I believe it was on two networks as well. And then Undergrads is one of those shows too.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't think I don't know what I'm talking about, but
No.
yeah,
So number three, Batman, the animated series, ran from
good
92
show.
to 1999. Yeah, I watched
Great
this one
show.
too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched this one too. Um, A landmark in the superhero genre, Batman the Animated Series served as the first entry in the continuity of the shared DC animated universe, which is a massive franchise today. It depicted
Mhm.
a darker, grittier version of Batman on the small screen, with fleshed out storylines and complex characters never before seen for an animated series up to that point. Um, yeah, someone got cut off, so we'll have to end it there.
Yeah.
So, number two, which is again another show that is still ongoing. That's Family Guy, which started in 1999 as well.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, I don't particularly dislike the show. I don't particularly like the show, but it's a very popular show, very beloved show. So, yeah. Um,
Go ahead. I have my opinion in a little bit. Yeah. Go ahead.
okay. An iconic animated sitcom for adults, Family Guy introduced the world to the Griffin family before the new millennium. It is made up of extremely offensive and dim-witted Peter, his unsatisfied wife Lois, and 3 kids, the outcast Meg, the eccentric Chris, and a brilliant baby named Stewie. Oh, and Brian, their talking dog, would never be out of the picture, at least not permanently. Created by Seth MacFarlane, Family Guy has become one of the longest running animated sitcoms thanks to a solid fan base that appreciates each politically incorrect lampooning of American family dynamics and pop culture in general. The characters have each become legendary, with the dysfunctional family cementing their place in TV history.
Okay. Uh, it was only good for the first few seasons, and it
Hmm.
just like derailed between probably five and now. With all its like recycled, watered down jokes and how they write jokes and how they, portray jokes on their uh in 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 their show.
Hmm.
Basically, I think American Dad is 10 times better than this show, in my
Hmm.
opinion. Have you seen American Dad?
No, I don't watch any of these shows really.
No.
These types of shows. Like I don't watch.
Oh,
I
yeah.
watch like bits and pieces of Family Guy, but that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Well, American Dad is 10 times better. It has some more of a little bit of a story and more substance towards it. American, not American Dad, Family Guy used to its first few seasons, but it just, I think, because it's like a lot of different writers and the creators not, uh, the creator's no longer part of the show. He's here and there, so like, yeah, it's not good anymore. So, uh, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, well, now we're at number one of the most popular shows. Another one that is still surprising to me is still ongoing. Um,
I think I know you.
and hmm?
I think I know what you're going to say.
Okay, what am I gonna say before I say it?
Simpsons.
No?
Really? Wow.
Hmm?
They put Simpsons on there. Okay,
South Park.
that's number one.
Mm.
Mm.
Which ran from it started in 1997, I should say. People love South Park.
I mean, the
People
longest
love
running.
it.
Yeah, yeah. I know people love it. It is fun. It is funny.
It's never been for me,
It's
but I know it's a very popular show.
it's a
People
hit
love
or
it.
miss. That it has its like I think it's better than Family Guy, to be honest with you. But
What
like,
what
it's hit
else?
and miss.
Go ahead.
It's hit and miss in terms of their seasons, right?
Mhm,
They're more pro is it priority type of show,
mhm,
where Family Guy's more, they're trying to be that, but they don't
mhm.
do a great job with it. So yeah, I think South Park had better writers
I th
than.
I also think, like, in any show, you're gonna have seasons that are not as good as others. Um, when you have these longer running shows, right? The show's been going for almost 30 years.
Mhm.
You're gonna have shows that are or seasons that are more seasons that are not good. Whereas, like, if you have a normal running series that goes maybe 7, 8 seasons, you might have one or two bad seasons. Shows like this or Simpsons or Family Guy or whatever are probably gonna have even more bad seasons than that, right? So that's the thing. It's like either you ride it out or you stop watching. But yeah,
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a cool show. I would say it's a hit and miss. But it's like it has its moments. I would say, yeah.
So if one thought the Ren and Stimpy show was a cartoon more geared toward
Hmm.
adults than kids, South Park
Hmm.
took that concept and went all in on its adult humor.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know the premise by now. The show revolves around four friends growing up in the small Colorado town of South
Mhm.
Park and all the hilarity that ensues. From the start, South Park strove to be a cartoon that was made for adults, with humor that definitely isn't kid friendly, that didn't stop kids from watching it. And to this day, South Park remains a cultural icon for both adults and kids alike. So,
Yeah, yeah. I would say, yeah, I watched the movie. Have you seen the movie of the South Park
no,
back in the day?
barely watched the show.
Oh, you remember the song "Blame Canada"? Blame Canada, blame Canada.
No,
Mm,
you're talking to the wrong person. I don't watch the show. So
Oh,
I never wasted my time with the show.
mm,
So sorry, cannot partake in any of this.
yeah. So these are all like the long running shows, basically. They're not saying
Not
that
just
what's
long
like the
running shows,
best.
but more of the popular shows. Like
Yeah.
yeah. Um,
The
but we're not
president
done.
football.
We're not
Oh,
done. We got more.
oh, okay.
We are not
Oh,
done.
okay.
So we have shows that maybe, just kind of not going into detail about each show, but we have some shows that maybe didn't make this list and but was very memorable and was loved
Okay.
and
All right.
maybe slipped under the radar a little bit.
Yeah.
So one, The Wild Thornberries, which ran from 1999 to 2004. Did you watch The Wild Thorn? Okay, you know
That
what?
that show's
I
alright.
loved the show. What do you
That's
mean?
good.
I
The show
loved that show.
is it that the girl that just basically was in the wild?
She wasn't in the wild. Her family lived just in the wild, but like
Yeah,
she
yeah,
can talk to
yeah.
animals. It's
Yeah.
the right thing to be said.
The show's alright.
Okay, you can go away. Um, I loved the Wild Thornberries very
Mhm,
much. Which
mhm.
also, I think the father was played by Tim Curry as well, if I remember correctly. Um, anyways, next one, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures, which I kind of remember. This one ran for just the 2 seasons from 1999 to 1991. Um, so I probably why I don't remember it because I was not even born. Um, so
Mm,
yeah. Um,
I remember it, yeah.
so another one is I Am Weasel, which was a very short episode. Each episode was 7 minutes long, and it ran from
Mhm.
1997 to 2000, which I kind of remember a little bit. It's kind of like, like they do those mini episodes in between episodes. It was kind of like that.
The show, yeah.
Yeah. The New Adventures of He-Man. So I didn't know they had a New Adventures of
I
He-Man.
didn't get into He-Man. I was probably late.
He-Man
Well,
wasn't really.
what, when was it?
Well, He-Man has been around for many, 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 many,
Yeah, yeah,
many,
yeah.
many
But
years,
like,
right?
when did it?
This one had this one season and it aired in 1990.
That's probably why I probably missed out a little bit
I
on
was
it.
I wasn't even born yet. So um next one, The Pirates of Dark Water, which I definitely remember the characters. This one ran from like it must have come on like later on, but this one ran from 1991 to 1993. So I remember the
Never,
characters though.
never heard of it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Next one, SWAT Cats. Cats with K. The Radical Squadron, which I vaguely remember as well. This ran for 2 seasons between 93 and 95. So
Hmm.
there's that one.
Mm.
Beetlejuice also had a TV show, which I
I think
completely forgot about.
I remember a little bit of it. Yeah.
Yeah, this one technically didn't start in the 90s, but it ended in the 90s. It started in 89 and ended in 91. So,
Mm.
yeah, well, not quite 90s, but hey.
Hmm.
Tailspin. I remember this one. Did you ever watch Tailspin?
Tails? What? Tail?
Tailspin. It was
Mm.
it was still a little before my time, but I remember seeing like reruns or something. It ran from 90 to 91 for 1 season.
Yes, I remember the show. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. One season. Wow.
1 season.
Wasn't that good?
I guess
Hmm.
here's another one that I never missed an episode of. I loved this show. I completely forgot about this
Mhm.
show.
Mhm.
Reboot. Did you watch
Great
Reboot?
show. Great
That's a
show.
good show.
Great. The thing is, the problem I had with it is was because of the animation was janky a little bit. I
Oh,
would
it's the
say.
90s. You
Yeah,
gotta have
I
a
know,
little bit
I
of
know.
grace.
It was 3D animation, I would say, but it was like block 3D.
But
It,
again, remember what era you were in. This was the 90s.
true. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can't look at it from today's standards. So of course, if you watch it today, you're like, oh God.
I understand. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then we didn't say anything wrong with that stuff with animation back then, because that's
I mean,
all we knew.
yeah, yeah. We just got the storytelling was pretty good.
Hmm.
To be honest, the writing was good.
Hmm.
It was just the animation was a little janky. But
Okay.
like
Well,
Beast Wars, remember Beast Wars, right?
uh,
Very.
it sounds familiar.
It's basically like Transformers, but
Okay.
with Beast. But it had the similar type of animation, but slightly better in my opinion
Hmm.
at the way the 90s was going. But yeah, no, no, the show
That was
was a
great.
great show, great
Ran for four
story.
seasons.
Yeah,
Ran for four
yeah,
seasons between 1994 and ended in 2002, which definitely makes sense because I was still watching the show in
and they were
2002.
yeah, yeah, and they were thinking of doing a live action of that one. I was like,
Oh,
on Netflix. So I was like, ooh, no,
that is a
don't do
bad
it.
idea.
No,
Don't do
yeah,
that.
no,
Leave it
yeah,
alone.
yeah,
But I
bad
think I
sense.
heard that too, that they were going to do something with reboot, and I'm like,
Yeah, but it never happened.
ooh,
I guess it got canceled.
good. That's for the best. Um, Road Rovers. This it definitely looks familiar, but this was had one season that ran from 96 to 97. But it definitely
Oh,
looks familiar. But anyways, this one I watched as well, and they actually made a live action movie of this as well years back. The Adventures of Tintin. I loved The Adventures of Tintin.
there was some issues with that show back in the day.
I
Uh,
don't remember there being issues.
uh, Great show, but there was some. I remember there was some racial. I think there was an
Oh,
old version of it, and it did black. I don't know if it did blackface. I don't know.
potentially. We can remember. Let me just put this out here. Three
Yeah.
seasons ran from 91 to 92. There was different times. We know better now, but it was different times back then. So I wouldn't be surprised if potentially there was blackface or something racially insensitive that just would not fly today. Yeah, I want us to remember the times that we were in here. I understand people sometimes be like, oh my God, this happened and it needs to be back. Remember the times that we were in. It wouldn't happen today. It shouldn't happen
Mm,
today.
yeah.
Um, there is a show. Yeah, it was a show. There's another show called Bucky O'Hare and the Toad Wars, which I never heard of. Clearly, because it only had one season that started in
Yeah.
91,
Yeah.
and that was
Yeah.
it. Um, Mutant League, which also I don't know anything about.
I don't remember that either.
No, it had, well, these are kind of the more obscure, maybe certain people might know, but not everybody's gonna know. Only two seasons that ran from 94 to 96. The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. This kind of looks familiar to me.
Yes, yeah, I seen this one. The show's annoying. To be
Okay.
honest, I
All
think it was
right.
trying to be Ben 10. Let me
Ben
see.
10. Ben 10 was more my brother's age group.
Adventure.
That was before my time, or
Was
after
that
my time, I
after
should
or
say.
before? The Adventures
My
of Johnny, Johnny
Johnny
Quest?
Quest, again, we're in the 90s, so yes, it would have probably been before Ben 10, because my brother was watching Ben 10. Um,
Oh no, I'm talking about something else. Oh, okay, never mind.
Ben 10
Yeah,
was a good show too.
yeah, yeah,
Ben 10 was actually done
yeah.
really well.
That's a good show. Sorry,
Yeah.
I was talking about something else. Adventures of something else. Right.
Okay. Then we have another one called Ronin Warriors. It looks kind of familiar. It ran for two seasons from 99 to
I don't know why
2002.
these cartoons are probably like 80s, 60s. I can't. I don't
It's
know
an
why.
English dubbed show, so I think that's
Mhm,
part of
mhm.
it. But yeah.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that there was a Back to the Future show, but there was that ran for two seasons from
Hmm.
91 to 92. Um,
Wow.
so clearly it didn't do as well as the movies.
I mean, it did two movies, so like, if for it to
Three,
get two
three
seasons, that's
movies.
still pretty good. Three movies for it to get two seasons, that's still pretty good.
I guess so. I guess so. I don't know. Um, Next, there's Street Sharks, and tell me why I remember this. I don't know
Street
how.
Shark. I think I
Street
know
Sharks.
the Street Sharks. Didn't they
Yeah,
have toys of this
maybe.
street?
Maybe. It had
Um,
three seasons. I ran
yes,
from
yes.
99 to 2002. But
This
I
was
definitely
a
remember this.
cool. This was a cool show. It was a cool show.
Yeah.
Based on Three Sharks. Yeah, I remember there were like toys on the shelf. I think I got one back in the day as well.
hmm
And yeah, cool show. It's a cool show.
This one, I swear, I'm like, I knew this show existed and I thought maybe I had a fever dream. I am correct. I knew this show existed. Life with a Louie, which was based on like the actor. Do you know the actor? Oh, what's his I'll see if I can figure out his name here. Louis, but anyways, it ran for three seasons from 94 to 98. Louis Anderson did.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, yeah. I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah.
Like the character looks just like him. Yeah.
Mm,
And I'm like, I swear I would see Louis Anderson. I'm like, I know there was a cartoon show. And
mm,
yeah, I was correct the
mm,
entire time. And I watched that show. So that's why I'm
yeah.
like, I know the show exists. Um, so Dog City, which I also for some reason remember, had about three seasons plus a movie, and it ran from 92 to 94. Um, it basically looks like a dog and it's doing like investigating and stuff.
What's it called again? Say it.
Dog City.
None.
Another one, I think most of us will know this one, Mighty
Mhm.
Ducks. The Mighty Ducks.
Yeah,
One season from 96 to 97.
cool show.
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
There's also James Bond Jr., which I did not know that there was a show, a
And I
cartoon show
didn't.
about James
I
Bond.
did. I did
That's
not know that. Mhm.
that sounds ridiculous. So we're now gonna move on from cartoon shows and kind of move into just any kind of like real life 90s shows now, or
Mhm.
live
Mhm.
action ones.
Yeah.
And some of them where you can actually stream them today. So I think we have about 35 of those, so we'll just kind of go through that. So Twin Peaks, which I'm sorry to admit, I've never seen Twin Peaks. It aired from 1990 to 1991. I believe it also had another season in 2017. And if you want to watch that, you haven't watched it, you heard it's great. You can watch it on Paramount Plus or Apple TV. So if you're like me and really don't know much about Twin Peaks,
Yeah.
this horror drama series created by David Lynch back in 1990 follows the murder investigation of homecoming queen Laura Palmer in the fictional town of Twin Peaks. Although the show was canceled due to declining ratings after two seasons, it established a cult following that led to a 2017 revival on Showtime. Many original cast members, including Kyle MacLachlan, reprised their roles almost three decades later. You only have access to the first two original seasons on these streaming platforms, but why not see what all the fuss is about? Maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll get there. I don't know.
Mhm.
Next one that I think, even if you never watched the show like religiously, you've probably seen an episode here or there throughout the years. Seinfeld. This one aired in 1989 to
Yeah.
1998.
Good
It is
show.
on, yeah, that's funny. It is
See,
on Netflix, so you
see,
can stream it
I
there.
didn't understand the show when I was a kid at all.
Oh,
Probably
yeah,
if
things will
I
go over your
probably
head.
didn't. I did not. My dad watched it and laughed. I didn't laugh. Probably I would laugh at today at it
Yeah,
today
no,
right now.
I've definitely watched them as an adult and laughed.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just some things go over your head right when you're a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because you haven't experienced those events yet. So like as a
right.
kid, so like yeah.
That life experience.
Hmm.
Number three. The Simpsons. That's one you mentioned before. Um, Started in 1990 and is still ongoing, which is insane to me. You can watch it
Yeah.
on Disney Plus if you want to. So there you go.
Few movies. I watched the first movie. I think I watched the second. I
That's
think
the
it's
one
the
with Spider
second
Pig.
movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I watched a few seasons. I haven't watched Simpsons in a
Uh,
long time.
Again, for me, I've watched like episodes here and there throughout,
Yeah.
but I was not ever allowed to watch The Simpsons when I was a kid.
Hmm.
I never really got into it because of that. And even now, like if The Simpsons plays in the house, my mom just switches the channel. She does not want that playing in our house, even with adult children in the house. Just things that you
Really?
continue.
As an
Yeah, no.
adult?
My mom hates The Simpsons, so she still doesn't want it playing in her house at all. Which is like whatever, because I'm like I don't really care because I never got into The Simpsons as a kid, so now as an adult, I really just don't care. I guess that's the only way I can describe that. My brother has been the reason why it's played at all because he's watched it a few times. But yeah. Next one, The Sopranos, which I've definitely watched an episode here or there. It's a pretty good show. It started in 1999 and it aired until 2007. You can watch it on Max if you'd like to. So just a little background on Sopranos for those. I feel like a lot of us kind of know even if you don't watch it. But I kind of wanted to pay homage to the lead actor here. So The Sopranos is considered by many critics to have kicked off the golden age of television. The late James Gandolfini plays Tony Soprano, a mobster living in New Jersey as he tries to balance his family life with his life of crime. Since its pilot first aired, The Sopranos has gone on to become a favorite of critics and mobsters alike. Members of organized crime groups would often call Gandolfini to commend him for his authentic performance. So you're getting the real deal. In 2021, a prequel film, The Many Saints of Newark, was released starring the late James Gandolfini's son. Um, Hold on, sorry for my lost my spot. Yep, son. Who his name was Michael, and he plays a younger version of Tony Soprano, who he's playing a younger version of his dad.
The thing is, I never watched that show. I heard great things about it.
It's a great show. Like the little bit I watched, like it's a really great show. Yeah.
Okay.
Next one, The X-Files. Do 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 do. Okay, so it aired
Yeah.
in 1993 and ran until 2018. I definitely watched the revival of it,
Mhm,
because I was too young to watch the original stuff. But
mhm, mhm.
if you want to stream it, you can watch it on Hulu, so it's there.
Right.
Um, Next, Sex and the City, which it's a good show.
Pretty good
It's
show.
it's a good show.
Yeah.
Ran from 1998
D-
to 2004, and you can watch it on Max.
Have
Or for Canadians, Max, that's also Crave for us here in Canada. Um, but yeah, what were you gonna say?
Have you watched the sequel?
No, I've never been. I never finished watching the original series, anyways. But I haven't heard great things about the reboot, so I never had intentions of watching it.
It's a different name though. Like it's
Yes,
not called.
yes, it is. It's not called Sex and the City. It's called the um. Oh, it's like I literally saw the title of it earlier, actually, before we started recording, but I
And
can't
just
remember.
like
And just like that, that's what it's called.
mhm. This
I never had
seems
interest.
yes. It's on its third season, to be
Yeah, I
honest
know,
with you.
I
So it
know.
must be doing good.
No, I think it's doing good for those people who love Sex and the City, but
Yeah.
I've heard people who really were into the show
Mhm.
while it was on, they say it's not that good.
Mhm.
I don't think people really got past the first season. But
Mhm.
um
Yeah.
and also the controversy with Sarah Jessica Parker and um what's her name now? The person who plays
Samantha.
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 Yeah,
What's it?
it's just, whatever. But anyways, I watch the movies. It is what it is. Um, Now my personal favorite show that I have watched every single episode, I swear like a million times. I can recite episodes. Let's be real here. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I so,
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
those shows.
yeah.
It's one of my favorite shows. Um, it
Very
aired from
nice.
1990 to 1996. You can watch it on Hulu or Max, or Disney Plus, because also Hulu is part of Disney Plus, so you can watch it there too.
A lot of great sitcoms back in the '90s. The
Oh,
Parkers,
so good.
Smart Guy, Martin, uh,
Yeah.
the Wayne Bros.
Oh, I love the Wayne brothers. Wayne's brothers.
Yeah,
It was so good. It was a really good show.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so Friends is another one. But it's timeless. I know people are like,
Uh,
oh, we don't like Ross. Get out of here. Um,
guy.
you have to be very careful with Friends.
Mm, it's
And
all.
personally, be careful with me because I love Friends.
It's all. It's all. It's all.
Okay, and that's fine. That's
It's all.
that's incorrect though.
It's all.
You can dislike a show, but it is it was a very popular show. People
Mhm,
loved it.
mhm,
So you
mhm.
can say what you want, but doesn't matter. Jennifer Aniston and everybody else is still laughing to the bank. So, anyways, this one aired in 1994 to 2004. You can stream it on Max. It used to be on Netflix, but I think they dropped it. So that's where I
Mhm.
watched. Because I used to watch it when it was on. But my mom, she stopped watching it. So I just never got to finish watching it. I finished watching it on Netflix. Um, I love it. I love that show. I thought the show was great. This one is a little before my time. I know, man. I don't know all of this, but Beverly Hills 90210.
I remember that show. Yeah.
Again, you need to be kind of careful here. 90210 is a classic television show,
There's
even
a
more so
better
than Friends.
there's a better show than that, and I think it's a high school show if I remember.
Okay,
I'm
but
trying.
gotta also remember that this show did not gear to just kids. This was a show, like we were
This show
kids
didn't. There's two
when
shows
this show
better.
came out. Okay, but you don't have to compare this show's better than that show.
Uh,
Every show is good in their own right. We're not talking stupid shows. These are classic shows that I'm pulling out here.
I think you.
So
I think you will like the shows that I. No.
no, I'm not. I know what you're talking about. I know you're talking Saved by the Bell, and
Oh,
I love Saved by the Bell. That is a show that I watched.
boy, Boy Meets World.
Yeah, but again, I'm telling you right now, I don't remember anything from Boy Meets World, but I remember things from Saved by the Bell. I remember that show inside and out. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, same thing. But again, people who were watching Beverly Hills 90210 were older people. Those people might
Yeah,
not have
yeah,
been necessarily
yeah.
watching Boy Meets World.
True.
So you have to, all I'm saying is just, you don't have to compare one show to the other. We're not doing that. I'm not trying to do that. Every
Okay.
show is good in their own right.
I
Okay, so
I just think that show was alright.
yeah, you can think that, but this was an award-winning show.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No. I'm just saying my opinion. I think it was alright.
Okay.
If
No,
you think
I'm
it's good, then that's fine.
I'm saying my first thing was I don't remember the show that well. I did not watch the show religiously. My mom
Um,
did, right? But I know you hear Beverly Hills 90210, you can name at least one person from that cast. At least one. And that's only one. I can name
now,
more, even though I never
no,
watched the show.
now is the reboot still going on now,
I don't
or is
think
it still
so.
done?
I don't think so.
Because I heard
Um,
about
I don't know why they were trying to reboot it. They also did the same thing with Say About the Bell, which I'm like,
they
no.
did they try to do that?
The Say About the Bell, they did.
Oh,
They did have to do a reboot. I
what
think it had two seasons.
Oh
Well,
man,
yeah, listen, I wasn't interested.
they even did that Girl Meets World. Ugh.
Yeah, and I don't think that did well either. So some of these are just meant to be left alone, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
So yes, anyways, Beverly Hills 90210 went from 1990 to 2000, which I didn't even know ran as long as it does that, but yeah.
92 to 2000. Wow.
hmm Law and Order, which there's so many different iterations now
Oh
today, but the original Law and Order ran
yeah.
from 1990 to 2010. So 20 years.
Have you watched the Toronto one?
I haven't. I've actually been interested in it, but I have not watched the original. I never really watched Law and Order. The only
Mm.
little bit of Law and Order I ever watched was when it would come on, whether it was before or after Jerry Springer at night. That's the only time I
Uh,
watched it when I was a
how would
kid,
it?
though.
Maybe because
So
it's like
when
I
I was like
understand it's
little.
an adult. I understand like it's an adult show, but like
Mm.
why would it put it in that time slot?
I don't know. I can't speak to that. I have no.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous time slot.
It could have come on earlier too. We don't. I don't know. I don't know. Um. So next one, that one that you just mentioned a minute ago, Martin, which aired from 1992 to 1997.
Mhm,
You can watch that on Max if
mhm,
you'd like.
mhm.
Will and Grace, which again is another classic, ran from 1998 to 2020. Which long. Well, that was more like it ended, and then came back, and then
Oh
ended
yeah, I
again.
heard it. I heard
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I heard it. Reruns.
Yeah.
I heard it reruns. So
Not
like,
just reruns, like they remade this, like they brought
oh,
it back.
sorry, not reruns. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, they made it came
It came
back,
back.
and then yeah,
Yeah.
but like yeah, I wasn't into that show either. So
I was too young for Will and Grace originally. So when it came back, I couldn't really like, you know,
Mhm.
be a part of that because I missed it, when I was younger.
Mm.
But it ran from to 1998. So yeah, you can watch it on Hulu if you'd like to. This show was one that I watched and I absolutely loved, and that is The Nanny. I love The Nanny. And you don't know The Nanny? Okay, so I'll read the explanation for The Nanny in a
Mm.
minute. That ran from 1993 to 1999. If you want to watch it, you can watch it on
Mm.
Peacock. So the always great Fran Drescher became a household name by playing a Jewish fashion queen from Queens who becomes a nanny to three upper-class New York British kids. The always great Fran Drescher became a household name by playing a Jewish fashion queen from Queens who becomes a nanny to three upper-class New York British kids. The show was developed by Drescher and her husband at the time, Peter Mark Jacobson, and is based on her experience growing up in Queens with characters based on real people in her life. The show has won an Emmy and Rose d'Or, and Drescher was nominated twice for a Golden Globe and Emmy. Next one, number 14, Boy Meets World. Oh, no.
One of the greatest shows of all time.
Yeah. Ran from 1993 to 2000. Frasier, number 15, which aired from 1993 to 2004 and then came back. Huh?
I remember that show.
I loved Frasier. Love Frasier.
I only watched like a few episodes of it.
Oh,
Like my
really?
dad used to watch it
Yeah.
religiously.
I
Um,
feel like I watched quite a bit of Frasier because it would, I'd watch it whenever it came on, which I think it was every night it came on. Um, yeah, I love that show. Um, and of course, again, for those people who know, it was a spin-off from Cheers, where everybody knows your name, because Kelsey Grammer
uh,
wasn't Cheers.
I remember.
Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
remember Cheers. I think most of us remember Cheers.
Mhm.
It was it's the show that goes down in history.
Yeah.
Another one now, number 16, That 70s Show, which ran from 1998 to 2006. if you want to watch this, you can watch it on Peacock because I think we're talking about streaming services, right? Where you can watch it. So yeah, that's on Peacock right now. And if I've never seen that 90s show, I never
Mm.
saw that one. I know
I
it's
heard
on
it was.
Netflix. Yeah, I heard it was, and I think well, obviously the controversy that follows. Yeah, I think we're probably gonna put that one to bed.
Mhm.
Freaks and Geeks at 17, which I recognize two of these people from. We got James Franco in here. Didn't know he was in this show at all. But this one ran for only, I guess, two seasons from 1999 to 2000. So,
James
uh,
Franco, is that the guy that played Harry Osborn on original Spider? Oh, okay.
yes. Um, so yeah, if you're like me and know nothing about this show whatsoever, which by the way,
Mhm.
you can stream on Hulu, Paramount Plus, and Pluto TV. Basically, critics lament the premature cancellation of Freaks and Geeks after a single season. It's only had one season. Few people know that the now reowned Judd Apatow actually executive produced the show, or that many of today's stars, including Seth Rogen, Cardinelli, James Franco, Jason Segel, and Busy
Mhm.
Phillips, were part of the cast. This is also a must-watch for music lovers since its rock-heavy soundtrack features its hits from Van Halen, Joan Jett, The Who, and more. Here for Joan Jett. Anyway, um, so we're skipping 18 is because that's South Park, so we already talked about that. So 19, My So-Called Life, which I hear so many people talk about, but I never saw the show. Maybe because I was too young. It ran from 1994 to 1995, but I hear it's a very popular show or was a really good show. If you want to watch, you can stream it on Hulu.
Mhm.
Um, again, just for those people who don't know. So over 25 years from the end of the first and only season of My So-Called Life, fans are upset about the cliffhanger ending. The show follows the lives of a set of teenagers, notably played by Claire Danes and Jared Leto, among others, who live in the suburbs near Pittsburgh. Show creator Winnie Holzman expected ABC to pick up a second season, which never happened, despite critical acclaim and receiving multiple major award nominations. So that's really interesting. They didn't
Mhm.
get another season after all that,
Mhm.
including Danes winning the Golden Globe for her performance in the series. Like that's insane. They didn't get
Yeah.
another season if it like did so well in
Mhm.
terms of like awards and stuff.
Mhm.
Anyways, number 20, Ellen, like Ellen Generous, which again was a little before my time, but anyways, it ran
The
from
show
1990.
Ellen?
Hmm?
The show Ellen?
So not like the talk show.
Uh-huh.
Ellen actually had a sitcom show prior to that. And
Mm.
on that show, she actually came out. Like her character came out, and then she came out like not long after,
Mm.
which is probably the reason why it didn't go past 1998, because that's, I think, around the time she came out. So it ran from 1994 to 1998. If you want to watch, you can watch it on Prime or Apple TV. So just in case you don't know much about the show, Ellen follows an erratic bookstore owner as she navigates eccentric friendships, family members, and daily life in sunny LA. And the show introduced Ellen DeGeneres to mainstream America. Ellen has earned its spot on TV's Best of Canon after becoming the first US series with the main character to come out as gay with the puppy episode, which aired shortly after DeGeneres decided to come out in real life.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
that's,
Uh,
yeah,
Probably like one of the reasons why the 90s, it was very frowned upon that, to be either gay or
we weren't ready in the 90s
yeah,
to
yeah.
hear about people coming out. I mean, that's one of the reasons why Ricky Martin didn't come out until, much later, because I mean,
Hmm.
he
Hmm.
never came out when he did. And
Yeah.
even like George Michael, I mean, they talk about the fact that he, among his friends and family, was pretty open, but I don't
Hmm.
think he ever admitted publicly that he was gay until well, until the incident happened, and then
Mm.
he had no choice but to come out. Um, so yeah, I think in the 90s were not ready for people
Yeah.
to be gay. And
Yeah.
and I won't see why it matters, but it was the 90s after all.
Yeah.
All right, number 21,
Mhm.
Party of Five, which is one that my mom watched, but I didn't. It ran from 1994 to 2000. If you want to
Mhm.
watch, you can watch it on Apple TV, Prime. So in case, do you know Party of Five, like the premise, anyways? Party of Five.
Party of Five.
Have you
Never
even
heard of that
heard of
show.
Party of Five?
No.
Wow. Okay. Um. So I'll say what it's about then.
Mhm.
So five siblings ranging in age from 1 to 24 are forced to fend for themselves and take over the family restaurant after their parents get killed in a car
Mm.
crash. The show follows the siblings as they deal with their new responsibilities, the effects of parental loss, and
Yeah.
substance abuse.
Mm.
A reboot, which I actually did watch the reboot, actually came, with the same premise, which was, was pretty good actually.
Mhm.
Um, so I believe I know Jennifer Love Hewitt was actually in Party of Five. I think it was her that was in Party of Five. And
Mhm.
I think there was someone else that my mom mentioned was also in Party of Five, but I cannot remember who it is. But people would know her. But
Yeah.
anyways, like some notable people were from Party of Five.
Mm.
Um, next one, which is one I've never heard of, but at 22 called News Radio. This one ran from
Yes.
1995 to 1999. I don't know. Do you know this one?
I think so. Let me see. I
Okay.
think that white.
Okay. Well, I'll read what this says. So, in case you want to watch, you can watch on Roku, Pluto TV. So, Wit is the name of the game on this NBC sitcom about the personal and professional travels of a New York AM news radio station staff.
Mm.
Episodes often satirize pop culture events or take a surreal turn, like setting the cast on board the Titanic.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Expect a young Andy Dick and always great Mara Tainery and a wonderful Dave Foley to round out the cast. In a total of 97 episodes with Farkasel, I think is how I say that word, storylines, often playing off a satirical take on pop culture, news, and historical events. The show presented a laugh out loud way to
Mhm.
take in current events. Which I feel like the premise of this sounds familiar, but I never saw the show. So, anyways,
Mm.
number
Yeah.
23, which I didn't even. Sorry, you're gonna say something?
It looks like it has like Joe Rogan on the show.
Okay, well, we're gonna go past Joe Rogan on that one. Uh, number 23, which I didn't actually know that this one started in the 90s, but apparently it did. Third Rock from the Sun, which aired from
Oh yeah.
1996 to
Right.
2001.
Yeah, that show was a good show actually.
Yeah, I never watched it. Sorry.
Mm.
So an extraterrestrial family is sent to Earth, which they deem an insignificant planet. Oh, yeah, to observe human behavior. Everyday events and emotions, like just the sensation of sneezing, become humorous ordeals for the alien family as they navigate our Cortinian social customs and culture while getting used to their human forms.
Mm.
The premise might sound weird, but it will certainly tickle your fancy as early as season one. So I've heard it's good. I just never watched it.
Mm.
Um, number 24, which is one I did watch, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the original version
So,
of that, which aired from 1996 to 2003. Again, if you want to watch that, it's on Hulu apparently. Number 25, Everybody Loves Raymond. I loved Everybody Loves Raymond.
everybody like,
Everybody Loves Raymond.
oh, that show, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was a good show as well. I didn't
I
watch it too much, but like,
really,
it
I
was on.
watched
It
that
was basically
religiously.
my dad had it on TV regularly every single day. Every time I came
Yeah.
downstairs, I'd
Yeah.
turn off the TV, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I watched the show religiously. I was sad when it ended. I loved the show. Loved the
Mm,
show. It ran from 1996 to 2005. It
yeah.
is on Peacock if you want to watch it.
Mhm.
Number 27, Ally McBeal. Do you remember Ally McBeal? No? Okay, well, maybe I'll read Ally McBeal for you. But this one ran from 1997 to 2002. You can't stream this one, unfortunately, guys. I feel like Ally McBeal was a fever dream for everybody.
Mm.
For some reason, I you can't find it. That dancing baby is just gonna have to stay in your minds like the rest of ours. You know, you have to do you know the scene of the dancing baby? You've ever heard of the dancing baby?
Um,
Okay, well, what I suggest you do after this episode is go onto YouTube and type Ally McBeal dancing baby, and you'll see the scene. It's one of probably the more famous scenes from the show.
mhm.
Um, I don't remember much from the show. I know I watched it. I don't remember much from the show, but I remember that. It was ridiculous. It was crazy. Anyways, so Ally McBeal, played by Calista Flockhart, is a
Mhm.
funny and dramatic lawyer seeking love, self-fulfillment, and happiness in Boston. The program took home the Golden Globe for Best TV Series,
Mhm.
Musical, or Comedy in 1997 and 98, and it won an Emmy for Outstanding Comedy Series in 1999.
Mhm.
Ally McBeal is still referenced in modern TV shows such as The Good Place, and it could be returning to the small screen soon, apparently. Word on the street is that a reboot is possibly in the works, which I definitely heard about that.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, just Ally McBeal, dancing baby. It is
Mhm.
nuts. Anyways, number 28, one that I did a rewatch on, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And that is also,
Wow, that's a
yeah,
great show.
love
That's
it.
I heard they're doing a re.
I have heard that. I don't know
Yeah.
how they're gonna do it. I don't know what it's gonna be like, but I'm gonna be there.
Oh yeah.
I'm Oh yeah, of course. I heard that the actor who plays you know what, I don't want to spoil, but just based on how things ended in season 7, which is the final season of Buffy,
Mhm.
I have questions on how Spike is coming back, but apparently he actually reappeared on Angel after, so I don't know.
Mhm. Mhm.
I really don't. I don't want to
Is
spoil
is
it,
is
but
the all the regular actors are coming back, or is it just like?
that's what I've heard that like Sarah
Mhm.
Michelle Gellar potentially could be on this. I'm not sure if the actor who played Angel is. I'm
Mhm.
not sure if Giles is coming back. Like, I'm not sure about that, but the big one, Sarah Michelle Gellar, that's been kind of confirmed. Um, Unfortunately, Michelle Trachtenberg will not obviously be a part of it because she, passed away. Which Michelle, you know, Michelle Trachtenberg played her sister.
Mhm.
Yeah. So obviously she won't be a part of it, but yeah, I have heard like little rumors here and there. I
Mhm.
don't know who else is going to be a part of it. Guess we'll see.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer ran from 1997 to 2003. It is on Hulu or it is also on Disney Plus if you don't have Hulu. That's where
Mhm.
I watched it. Um so next one is Sports Night. Never
Sports,
heard of it.
sports, and
Sports Night, that's what it's called. It ran from yeah, I think I have an explanation of what it is. It ran from 1998 to 2000. If you want to watch it, you can watch it on Prime or Apple TV.
I think I've seen a little bit of it back in the day, but
Mhm. So basically, it says anything by Aaron Sorkin, who I guess is the creator of the show, is worth a watch. But this half-hour comedy drama about a fictional sports news show is some of its best work. Unfortunately, it was canceled after a mere 2 seasons, and then Sorkin went on to better things, namely The West Wing. Nonetheless, Sports Night still enjoys a cult-like following. Um, and again, you can still stream it. Next one, 30, Felicity, which definitely heard of Felicity, never watched it though. It ran from 1998 to 2002. You can stream it on Hulu. So, and I'm assuming maybe even Disney Plus. Um, New York is as much of a character in this drama as Felicity Porter, played by Carrie Russell, a high school graduate who follows her crush to the Big Apple and attends the University of New York. As a critic's darling, Felicity was nominated for 38 awards and continues to make it on the best of lists. So I guess I didn't win any awards, but at least was nominated.
Mm,
Next one. I feel like I should just sing the theme song, and I feel like everyone would know that, but
mhm,
I don't want to wait for our lives to be over because
mhm.
obviously Dawson's Creek's going to be on this list. Yes.
Never watched it. Never watched it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was in Dr. PGI.
Okay, well, it's on Netflix if you ever want to. Dawson's Creek was a
I heard
great
all.
show.
I heard all. Is it about high school
I mean, they're
high
high
school kids
school
in drama?
age. They're high school age. I'm not sure if they go. I don't know if we see them going into I feel like we do see them going into like post-secondary
Yeah.
school as well. But like Dawson's Creek was a great show. I
Mhm.
mean, everyone on there has gone on to have amazing careers. Like it's not like a stupid show. It was a
Mhm.
great show. I watched Dawson's Creek all the time.
Yeah.
It was so
Heard,
good.
heard a lot of it. Heard good things about it.
Yeah, I feel like not a lot of people have bad things to say.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's people who don't
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah. Well, that's why probably the actors are that have jobs because a lot of the people in Hollywood love the show. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, this is where my love for Joshua Jackson started, was Dawson's Creek. I love Joshua Jackson. He can do no wrong. No wrong. I love him so much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, anyway, so Dawson's Creek ran from 1998 to 2003. If you want to stream it, you can stream on Hulu, the CW, Prime, I'm sure Disney Plus as well.
Hmm.
Um, since Mikel has not seen Dawson's Creek, I'll give you the quick synopsis here. It says Dawson's Creek is loosely based on the adolescence of Kevin Williamson, who we have talked about on this podcast before because he did Scream, which makes the spoof scary movie even funnier
Hmm.
because yeah, they do like a quick Dawson's Creek like joke in that one. Anyway, um so he's a show creator, albeit with a few creative liberties. Yes, the supposed teen characters have a tendency to talk like very smart, very responsible, very witty adults. Yes, the storylines are mostly unrealistic, but it introduced the ever popular love triangle to teen dramas, and for that alone, we promise that the show is so worth watching. I'm telling you, it is. Not even this list had to tell me that. Anyways, number 32, Charmed, which I definitely watched when
Charmed.
I was younger. Yeah, Charmed. You know Charmed? Oh wow. Okay. Charmed was about the witches. They were sisters. They've done reboots of it as well. You can say
I'm
what you want
seeing
to
a
say, but people
picture
love
of her.
Charmed.
I see a picture. That's probably
Yeah,
I
I mean
seen the
maybe Charmed
picture
wasn't really
before.
your
I just
thing.
I never watched the show.
No,
So,
Charmed is probably not for you.
yeah.
But I definitely watched the original Charmed when it was on.
Hmm.
So this one ran from 1998 to 2006. If you want to stream it, you can stream on Peacock, Roku, Prime, Pluto, and one called TNT, which I've never heard of. So I'll do the little quick synopsis, and also for Shannon Doherty, I have to do it. So we'll need a little magic in our lives, and who better to deliver it than a trio of witchy demon fighting sisters? Charmed was full of drama both on screen and off, following a falling out Shannon Doherty, may she rest, dropped out after starring as Prue Halliwell for 3 seasons, which I
Mm-hmm.
definitely remember that. She was eventually replaced by Rose McGowan, who took on the role of a fourth sister. Um, 34, which I just started hearing about this show recently,
Mm-hmm.
listening to other podcasts. Never heard of it before. Living Single. I I heard it's great though. Yeah,
Living Single.
Living Single. I'll do the
Mhm.
breakdown of Living Single. It aired from 1990.
Yes, I heard. Yep.
Yeah, Queen Latifah's in it. I didn't even know that.
Mhm.
Mm.
Wayne brothers. One of the Wayne brothers is in. I think
Well, there's
it's
a lot of Wayne brothers, by the way.
yeah,
There's a lot.
yeah.
But I'm assuming you mean either Sean or Marlon, right?
Nice. Huh. Thank you.
There's Damon, there's Sean, there's Marlon, there's other ones that I can't even remember their names.
I think it's Damon Baldwin, right?
Damon? Okay. Well, let's
Season.
go. Let's go through it. See,
Yeah.
I don't know if he comes up here, but let's see. So yeah, it ran from 1993 to 1998. You can watch it on Hulu
Mm-hmm.
or Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Following six neighbors led by the legendary Queen Latifah, who live in a broken brownstone, this series explores the bonds they form from heartbreaks and triumphs, all while navigating adulthood. The show, which aired for 5 seasons, provided important representation for African Americans on
Mm-hmm.
television, and it paved the way for sitcoms like Friends and Sex and the City, though it remains criminally underrated, which is really sad that I just didn't know about this show.
Paved the
And it
way.
kind of it kind of think of it paved the way in the sense of Michael Jackson paved the way for artists today. That's kind
Yeah.
of that's what they mean. So it's interesting though that I never heard of the show until maybe a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it's actually this big thing that paved the way for, let's face it, everybody, white characters and
Yeah.
popular white sitcoms.
I remember the director friend said that he wished that there was more like, diverse representation
Yeah,
in Friends. But
I think we're trying to do better now.
yeah.
Um, but like, yeah, even if it is like Damon Wayans that's in it, um, it's actually really sad. I don't know maybe when
Yeah, it looks
My
like
Wife and Kids came out, but like
yeah,
I loved My
because
Wife and Kids. It is not
yeah,
on this list.
yeah, yeah.
But
Like I, this probably was a pilot. It was probably part of the pilot, and then it
maybe,
probably he probably got like offered another show,
maybe,
possibly
maybe.
like you said. Yeah.
Like even like right now, I'm kind of going through and watching the Golden Girls, which
Oh,
um I love the Golden Girls. I'm
yeah. My
loving it.
grandma used to watch that show religiously.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it.
And yeah, had a lot of messages. I believe that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, a
yeah,
lot was happening during
yeah,
Golden Girls,
yeah.
which I think I kind of decided I wanted to maybe in the future do an episode on I think on Betty White. So maybe we'll touch on Golden Girls a little bit because I mean the things that Betty White did. She's an incredible person. Um, but she did a lot for LGBTQ plus
Mhm.
community, and the AIDS epidemic was happening during Golden Girls. So I think like just a lot was going on. But Golden Girls is incredible. I love that show. But this is not
Yeah.
about the Golden Girls. There is like a person on the Golden Girls who was on the pilot episode. He was supposed to be like their chef or whatever,
Mhm.
and then he never showed up again. He was just gone.
Mm.
He never came back. Um, so it's interesting. Kind of, I listened to the Golden Girls deep dive podcast, um, and kind of hearing about like the behind the scenes stuff. Um, it's interesting just kind of how the pilots kind of work and who makes it, who doesn't, kind of situation. But anyways, so let's go to the next. We have maybe there's a couple more left here, or just one more left. I'm not sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
one more here. So number 35. which technically this one started in the 80s, but it continued on in the 90s.
Mhm, mhm.
And that is Full House, which I love Full House.
Yeah, yeah,
Started,
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
did you say that like you didn't know what I was talking about?
Oh yeah, I just forgot what it was, and then it came to me. Yeah, yeah. Is that
Okay.
the one with the Olsen twins? And then they
Yes.
did a reboot on Netflix
Yes.
version.
Yes.
Fuller House? Is it Fuller House?
Fuller House, which they
Yeah.
are not a part of, those ones are not a part of.
Yeah.
Um,
Reasons. Yeah. Personal reasons. I guess.
it doesn't even matter to me, honestly,
Yeah.
because the Full House was more than just the Olsen twins.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so this one ran from 1987 to 1995. If
Hmm.
you want to stream it, you can stream on Max, maybe Crave as well, I'm not sure, and Hulu. So, dubbed the Brady Bunch of the 90s, Full House, which is an interesting take because how is it the Brady Bunch? They're all related. I have questions. Anyways, um, Full House will forever go down for its sweet yet corny humor and for launching the careers of Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, much to the delight of their fans, which is practically everyone, except for my mom. The show got a reboot in 2016, which I definitely watched. Didn't finish the last season. I still need to finish the last season. Called Fuller House on Netflix, so you can catch up with a current version of DJ and the Tanner's immortal family home, which, yeah, it might be nice to go back and watch it. I haven't finished it because I don't know if um, Bob Saget was in the last season or not, but it might be nice to watch.
Mm.
Um, but anyways, that's the end of it. Now, there are shows that were not mentioned. We did kind of briefly talk about, like, Saved by the Bell, for example, which was one I watched religiously as well. Um, so
Smart.
we didn't talk Pokemon, which I'm not even sure if that really started in the 90s or I think it started in 1999.
Yeah. Smart guy. That's another one too.
Smart
Smart.
Guy was a great one.
Yeah.
Um, Kim Possible. I don't know if that was in the 90s though.
That was in early 2000s.
Early 2000s, yes. Yeah. Maybe we'll have to do another show like this for like the early 2000s.
The Parkers.
Remind me the Parkers again. That sounds so familiar.
She
Oh,
went.
oh, 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 oh. Is that the one with Monique?
Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh, yeah, I watched the Parkers. Parkers
Mm.
was great.
I've seen that. I've seen a few episodes.
I'm pretty sure I've watched the entire series of that one. I
Yeah.
mentioned My Wife and Kids before. I'm not, again, not sure if that was either 90s or early 2000s, but I
Hmm.
watched that religiously as well. I loved that show. Um, Trying to think of what else. Bernie Mac show, was that in the 90s?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Very
I
much
watched
so.
that. The Jamie Foxx show, I watched
And the Steve
that.
Harvey show.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of what else there
Mm.
was. I know
Moesha?
that.
Is that
Hmm?
Moesha? Moesha?
Moesha. Yeah, Moesha, I feel like was a little bit before me though. So I know I watched a few episodes here and there, but like I think it was a little bit before me.
Hmm.
Um, I know I think the Maury twins also had their own show too.
Yeah, the Wayne bro.
Yeah, and the other way, yeah, they had their show
That
too.
was
I
a good show.
watched. Yeah, I enjoyed that show. Um, I know this one's a little more controversial just because of,
Hmm.
people in the show, but Seventh Heaven was
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
loved Seventh Heaven.
Yeah.
It was a really, really great show. I don't think that's a show you can get access to anymore, like,
Yeah, because of
um, controversy. Some actors have to ruin it for everybody. But anyways,
yeah.
otherwise it was a really good show.
Yeah. Sister Sister is another one.
Sister, sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a great show.
Yeah. It was a good show.
The Jamie Foxx show was
Yeah, I
another one.
mentioned that one. Yeah, I
Oh, you
love that
mentioned
show.
it?
Yeah, I
Okay.
love that show too.
In terms of other sitcoms, that was a search of black sitcom. Oh, Home Improvement. I'm surprised nobody mentioned that one.
I I'm also not surprised just because Tim Allen is very controversial these days. People really seem to dislike him. But Home Improvement, yeah, that was one I
Mm.
definitely watched. Home Improvement was great.
It's You said Ellen, Sports Night. Uh,
Yeah.
just shoot me.
Oh,
Just
yeah, just shoot me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs. Um, I remember dinosaurs though. That was an eye show.
Yeah.
Um,
I think CSI started in the 90s too, thinking about that
yes, I
too.
think so. I think so.
Yeah. The original CSI Vegas one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The, is it the Drew Carey show? I
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
really,
Drew Carey show. That's
yeah, I
right.
wasn't really. He was hot.
I think he was popular. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Everyone
like
knew Drew
the most
Carey.
talked about one of the most talked about comedians.
Yeah, he
It
had a
comes.
lot. He had that, and then he had Whose Line Is It Anyway, which is I think another 90s one too. I loved Whose Line Is It Anyways. I watched Drew Carey
Mhm.
show as well. Um, George Lopez, I think, was in the 90s as well, wasn't it? Didn't it start in the 90s?
Yes, it did.
Love
I
George
think it
Lopez.
start. Yeah,
Oh,
no, it's not. It showed not.
rain. No, the low rider.
Yeah,
The low. Okay, I'm done.
yeah, yeah. And
I
different
watched
world.
a different world. Like the 80s, a
Sinbad.
different world.
Yeah, with Sinbad.
That's a different one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking a different show. But yeah, I remember that one.
Hmm.
That's a favorite dream for me too, because I forgot
Hmm.
about the Sinbad show.
Yeah.
Didn't he have
And
his own show too?
yeah. Yeah, yeah, I seen.
Yeah, like the Sinbad show, or whatever the hell it was
Yeah,
called.
yeah. The Sinbad show, yeah, another show. Yeah, that was a
Yeah,
great show as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
And for
And
those who
the
don't remember Sinbad, because I feel like we don't talk about Sinbad these days anymore,
mhm, mhm.
he also is in Jingle All the Way. He's the mailman.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, that's true. There's another controversial show, Roxanne.
Ro- Roseanne.
Roseanne? Is it Roseanne?
Roseanne, not Roxanne, Roseanne.
Roseanne. Okay,
Yeah, Roseanne was great. I watched Roseanne when I was younger.
Roseanne.
She is controversial, yes.
Yeah.
So that's the unfortunate part. But that was a
Yeah.
good show.
Yeah. I think this is a show that inspired my dad. Married with Children.
Love and marriage. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta think the same song.
My dad
Yeah, I
used to
watched.
always put his hand in his eye. And I'm like, why do you do that? But like, oh,
Yeah, I watched that show too. That was a great show.
Queens of Kids of Queen.
It's around the
That was a great.
90s? Yeah,
For 2000.
I don't know. Maybe
I
it's
think it
around
was
the
early
90s.
2000s. Yeah, early 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah. It could have started in the 90s, honestly. Could have been like late 90s.
Hmm.
I don't remember, but yeah, no, I watched King of Queens too.
Oh, we forgot to talk about Family Matters.
That started in the 90s, didn't it? Found that it was a great show.
Switch.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
Did I do that?
Yeah. Um, Freaks and Geeks. Oh yeah, you talked about
Yeah,
that.
we talked about that, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So many like great shows in the '90s that can't replicate today's show. Yeah, so much talent back in the '90s that can't replicate today's show.
Yeah.
Um, like I don't know if there's like a lot of nice new shows nowadays. Like was it Elementary of that? There's that school uh drama with like the actor that plays Everybody Hates Chris.
Yes. And
Yeah,
it which
that's
that was also a great show. It's called Abbott Elementary. I heard
yeah,
it's really good.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if it's another one, but there's a sequel to uh Mo My Mother Met some. Oh, is it Mother Met?
Oh, so you're thinking How I Met My Mother or How I Met Your
Yeah,
Mother. And
yeah. There's
they
another
have a
series.
new one now that's
And the
or
father.
I don't know if it's on now again, but
Yeah,
How I Met Your Father was I think with
yeah,
Hilary Duff.
yeah.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, I don't know. I don't watch as much TV as I did, but I do watch like Netflix and
Yeah.
Disney plus what
Which
it's
again, there's
not.
still shows.
Mhm.
It's just a different way now. We were streaming versus, you have to watch an episode and then wait a week for the new one.
Yeah,
Um, there have been reboots of stuff like, Criminal Minds, so that's one that comes to my mind, which you know, it came, it left, and then it came again, and I'm like, listen, I got emotional and
Mm,
stuff. You made me cry. If it's for you to come back anyways,
yeah. Oh,
you know.
yeah. Have you heard the new show that Damien Wayne's on? Papa's House? Hey, have you seen clips of it?
Oh, what?
Papa's House.
No, no, it doesn't sound familiar.
It's not 90s, but it's a new show that
Oh, with Wayne's brothers or
yeah,
Wayne's
yeah, yeah,
family.
yeah. Yeah.
I just see Wayne's family at this point.
Yeah, I feel like it's a sequel, almost similar to
It
wait,
feels that way, doesn't it, to My
yeah,
Wife and Kids?
yes,
Yes, it kind of
yes,
feels that way with Damon Wayans, and I think
yeah,
it's his son.
yeah.
Um,
Has that vibe towards the
yeah, it
show.
does. It made me
Yeah,
question. I'm like, was his son in My Wife and Kids?
yeah.
But I don't think so. I think that actor who played his son was different.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, yeah, his son was actually in that movie that I watched that we
Hmm.
talked about on Netflix,
Hmm.
the fake pregnancy movie. He was in that. Um,
Yeah,
he was
I
funny.
heard good things about this show. I gotta take a look and watch it.
Yeah, I need to take a look at it. There's a
Mm,
show right now. I don't know if I talked about it already on the show or if I talked about elsewhere, but
mhm.
Paradise with Sterling K. Brown and that other guy who always seems to do Disney movies and stuff. I heard it's a really good show. I haven't,
Oh, thriller series.
yeah, I haven't watched it.
Oh,
I'm planning on it. Um,
oh, the guy that did This Is
This
Us.
Is Us. Yeah, Sterling
Oh,
K.
that's a
Brown.
great show too.
I heard it's a,
Fantastic show.
I heard it's really, really good, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
watch it.
yeah. I was watching it really.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to watch it before we do the next Netflix episode, which this is actually coming out after
Yeah,
the next Netflix episode.
yeah,
But I'm gonna see if I can watch it.
yeah.
We could talk
What's his
about
name?
it.
Sterling K. Brown. Okay, yeah.
Sterling
Yeah,
K.
he's a
Brown.
great actor.
He's great. And I
He's
remember he was in Black Panther too, and he played the father.
great.
Um, yeah, he's great. I love him. I think he's great. So I'm definitely gonna watch it. I heard it's good. So, I mean, there are good shows out there today. It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
have the same feel of a 90s show. Like it was really fun watching like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and kind of not only seeing this show that again I grew up watching, but um the styles and what was popular back then.
Yeah.
It's also fun to kind of see that and be like, oh God, what were we doing? But yeah.
One more before we
Mhm.
go. Have you heard of the show called the 100?
The what?
The 100? Let me see that. I got that right. Yeah, the 100.
The 100?
Yeah, that's a great show too.
No, I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I like I said, I watched that religiously as well. That was an awesome show. Yeah.
No. The 100. Was that a game show?
No, not a
Okay.
good show. No,
Okay.
it's more of a supernatural science
Oh, I
fiction.
see.
Alyssa Taylor was Clark Griffin
Okay.
in the show.
Okay. This was in the 90s?
No, this was like 20, yeah, 2010 show, like 2014.
Okay.
7 seasons of that. So
Okay.
I was
I
deeply
think at
into
the
it.
time I was watching stuff like Jersey Shore
Oh,
at the time. And
yeah, that show was
I
great
was in
for
college too.
a couple
That
seasons.
too. So yeah, no. I
You,
think I think I
you,
spent a lot of time watching MTV.
yeah, you watched the what's it the reunion? You watched that
The which one?
the Jersey Shore reunion?
Oh, like Jersey Shore Family Vacation?
I think so. That yeah,
That's
I
what you
think so.
mean? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I watch it.
Yeah, that's it. Mm,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Are you kidding?
yeah, yeah.
I religiously watched Jersey Shore
Mm,
from season two when Sammy punched Jenny, and it's been in my DNA ever since. So
interesting. Yeah.
when I came back, I'm like, I have to watch it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. It's a different feel than original. Jersey Shore just because, they are older, they're parents, most of them now. Um, Most of them are married except for, Vinny is neither. Um, it,
So,
you know, it's a different feel now. Because I mean, like, Paulie's in his 40s, Mike is in his 40s. It's a different vibe
mhm,
um than the original Jersey Shore.
yeah,
Mike is clean, so it makes a difference as well.
right,
And yeah, so it's different.
yeah, 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 yeah. Now, like, I mean, like nowadays there's a lot of hit and miss type of shows. I'm sure like that was like the '90s too. There's a lot of hit
Oh
and miss.
yeah. Yeah. 90s had their hits
The
and their
2000s,
misses.
2010.
Yeah, there's
Um,
always going to continue to be hits or misses with anything that is, entertainment, whether it's music or movies or TV shows or whatever. There's always going to be hit or misses, right? Um, you know, so it's going to continue moving forward.
okay, 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 okay. So this ends this episode. I believe it's 90. Is it 96?
I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
96 of the Next Tape Podcast. The Next Tape Podcast is available on all podcast platforms. We also have a website called Tanyka.
Next take podcast.podpage.io.
And where else we at?
Facebook and Instagram at Next Take Podcast, and Twitter and TikTok and Blue Sky at Next Take Pod.
And you can contact us on our email at mikeltanika@gmail.com. That's mikeltanika@gmail.com. So we talk about a lot about, so like such as cartoons and then, live action sitcoms, and sci-fi and a lot of shows that was
The
back then.
shows of the 90s.
Yes, basically. And yeah, having memories like watching these shows, and certainly bring back sometimes,
Yeah,
watching these
definitely.
others. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, coming home from school and watching Rugrats and,
Mm-hmm.
that was my lineup. The Rugrats, Pokemon, you know, yeah.
YTV,
They had the Addams Family live action show that I watched too.
Boys Meets World later on as well.
Yeah. Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. Those are good memories of watching those shows when you were just like, younger. But anything else you want to say, Tanika?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I'm Mikel, and
And I'm Tanika.
out until
I think next week.
next week. Okay, peace, guys.
Bye.